got to move forward. You know, I talked to her last night. I feel bad for Debbie. I mean, obviously she did the right thing resigning. You can't allow those kind of conversations go on. Listen, I was chair of the National Party. I ran a very contested primary in 2004. You cannot allow, you have to be a neutral arbitrator. You cannot allow folks inside to try to shift the game at all. So some of the emails were insulting. The right action was taken. I think we're done with it. Now we're going to move forward.
How much do you worry as a more and make it
Well, I thought Senator Sanders had a great statement last night. He was on TV today saying he's happy now, we got to move forward. So I think he sent a signal to all his supporters. That part's done, we got to beat down the Trump. So his statement was sorry about Trump. Yeah, I've talked to Robbie Wilk about that. They're very convinced that this was done by Russian terrorists. I saw a story late yesterday that many of the cybersecurity experts have come out and validated that statement.
How big is this going to influence the support?
Listen, a big election, a big issue. If we're up against Donald Trump, I mean, you know, you got some DNC staffers and vote some things down that they should. We got to move forward, and we have a great kickoff this afternoon at the convention. And then, you know, obviously we got President Clinton speaking, President Obama speaking, we got Joe Biden, Michelle Obama, it's going to be a great convention. In contrast to the embarrassment last week of 4 days of negativity about America's demise and everybody's weakness and China's weakness, we're the greatest nation on earth. We can do better, and that's what we're going to strive to do, but that was a disgrace, actually.
Let's talk about that. Have you spoken to Secretary Clinton, the former president? What do they think needs to be done this week based upon what happened last week?
I mean, listen, it's going to be quite a contrast. Ours is going to be hope, ideas and opportunity of how we help the middle class, how we grow the economy. It's going to be in stark contrast to what you saw last week. It's going to be a positive, upbeat convention.
Governor, we asked yesterday about whether you had any didn't have any names yesterday. Anybody else?
Party membership has some, I think, very important diversity of the document. So there's no leadership over there. I think that we have kind of this organized the chair. I think it's very important we have diversity of the document.
Would you be in a position to reassume that role as a man?
I love being a DNC chair. I'm a big leader. Do your job and move on. Just as we're doing here in Virginia, I reckon every record that we had in Kansas City, we built it. I've done my job. Listen,
one more. Governor, you said Tim Kaine was going to be the greatest vice president of the United States. You used a lot of greatest today. Which you normally do. It's not uncharacteristic. But if you get a chance to appoint someone to the Senate seat, what are some of the people that you consider?
I don't want to go through there. I can tell you this. I think most of you know the leading election that the next senator represents Virginia, who we are as a Commonwealth. We're always looking at diversity if we could. For me, it's got to be someone who I can work with. I mean, think about this. We're going to hit hanging out here. My best friend is president. My other best friend is vice president of the United States. This is great for Virginia. I get a lot of things done, so I would want a senator who would be one of us. So that we can continue to protect the military assets, grow the military assets, and we've had dramatic success. Being president of his family, resources for Virginia. I just think we're lucky in the next year. I want a senator who I can work with to help us grow.
Governor, you say how many names will be on that list?
It's interesting. A lot of people start calling me. There has been some aggressive lobbying on it going on. I've told everybody. I've been very clear. I'm not going to talk to anybody until we win this election. I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, you know, I've worked. I've known the Clintons half my life. I spent most of my life helping the Clintons. This is one of my proudest moments to see my friend get nominated. And we got to get her elected. And I'm telling everybody, let's just slow down here a little bit.
Governor, you said there is unfazed by Friday's Supreme Court ruling. Speak a little bit to that. You're still convinced you get those 200,000 registered.
I'm convinced I do it.
Yeah. So, I mean, does this set up a fight?
They said I had to do it.
Easy as that?
It's as easy as that. I said this in fairness to most of you during the process, that if they go ahead and do it, which I'm actually shocked at. Just remember, I did not just do this. We had 4 leading constitutional experts in Virginia justice is just trying to snatch it away from them. And you know what? All I'm doing is giving you rights to vote. That's it. I'm not giving you gun rights back. I'm not reducing your sentence. I'm giving you the right to vote because you serve your sentence. And as you know, 2 states you can vote while in prison, 14 states you can vote as soon as you get out of prison, and one of 4 states are right what we do. Why is Virginia always at the end? Why? You want to help people. I didn't do this for political reasons. Most of you know when I campaigned on this issue, I did it for moral reasons. You travel with me on the media. It's time to sick and tired when we would meet with folks and they have some product come up to me and say, you know, Governor, I need this done because on election day, I go to polling booths and I hope someone drops their I voted sticker. I can pick it out, put it on, and go home. So I can tell my children that I voted. I'm embarrassed to tell my children that I voted. Treat people like that. Why should they be second-class citizens? So, you know, it was morally the right thing to do, and we're going to get the rights back, and hopefully we can move on. And I would just tell the Republicans, instead of suing, take the voting rights away from people. Go earn their vote. And as you know, the average person is a 48-year-old white male. Go earn their vote.
So many people are excited about what you did in Virginia. We're very thankful. What else are you doing to
Well, you know, it's a big question, and it goes to the economics, and that's what I'm trying to do on the schools. That's why I'm an advocate for pre-K. Huge advocate for pre-K to help children. Make sure that all of our schools are paid for child. That's why I just put $1 billion in. Some schools are great, some are not so great. Unfortunately, those areas of high poverty rate, those schools need help. So I think fixing the education system and giving everybody a shot is the most important thing I can do. And overall, at the end of the day, if they say this is the jobs governor and I've got economic opportunity for people, that's probably the most important thing I can do.
What do we do to improve the standards of policing in Virginia?
Well, we're looking at all that. In fact, we just had Brian Moran. We just had a seminar statewide on community policing. I've been to a couple myself in the communities with the policing. We're leaning in aggressively ahead of time in case there's some issues, but you gotta protect your law enforcement, you gotta protect your citizens. The only way you can do that adequately is to make sure there's a conversation going on. We really force people to come together in a room and talk about what we need to do.
Governor, what's your message to supporters of Bernie Sanders and other liberals who say that Senator Keene is not liberal enough? You've known him for a long time.
I get a kick out of that because people always said Virginia, he was too liberal originally for Virginia. So listen, Tim has leaned in on the issues that matter. If you know Tim, listen, I think everybody saw his speech down in Florida and thought that was spectacular. That's the Tim Kaine that we all know. And I think more and more the folks get to know Tim, they're going to understand he is always fighting for the right thing. I mean, he is a moral progressive. You look at his whole life as what he's done, and he's a great compliment for Hillary.
Governor, you were a DNC chair during the hard-fought election.
Yeah.
When you saw those emails come out publicly, what was your reaction to some of these ventures?
Outrage.
Yeah.
And listen, I don't get into my private conversations with people, but I made it very clear as soon as I saw it, people need to be fired immediately. I'm sorry. If I'd been chair, they would have been fired within 5 minutes.
Do you think it's right for Chairman Schultz to stay through the convention?
Here's the one thing. Let me say this also. Debbie has worked very hard. President Obama handpicked her to be the chair, and she literally has spent 8 years traveling the country. She's got small children. She's left her children. I know the time demands on this job. So let her gavel it open. Let her gavel it close. She's earned that. She's worked hard. Obviously, there were mistakes made on this. She's resigned. I was with her last night. I had a drink with her last night. I feel bad for her. This is not an easy time. But, you know, she's worked hard. Give her the respect she's due.
Thank you guys. We got to go.
Thank you.